What's up?
Hey, all you shiny people.
How's
Welcome.
everybody doing? Doing good? I heard a little static in the background. Are you guys seeing colorblind emojis here? Like all the emojis for me have no color to them anymore.
Oh no, they'll have color on my end.
Look at what's scrolling in the ticker.
Oh, those don't have any color.
I don't know what's going on here. What's up, Krste? How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Doing good, man.
Heck yeah. It's my favorite time of year.
Got some great stuff today.
Yeah, this is going to be sweet. Let me get, not that. Up on the screen today, friendly people.
Yeah,
we're going to be talking about scaling to the moon. Zappy and Krste have been blowing it up this last probably 2 weeks or so as we move a little deeper into Q4. They've started dabbling around with TikTok, and they've seen great success in TikTok. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. It is going to be pretty freaking awesome. Just looking at the chat here. Mauricio says, wait, digital marketers toast. I'm not going to forget. Don't you worry. For the good of mankind. It's a duty. We got Justine. What's up, Justine? Jenny from New Jersey. Yep. Do me a favor here. Give this post some love on Facebook. I want you to like it, heart it, whatever Facebook will let you do to this post. I want you to do it. Leave your mark. It'll kind of help it, spread, I guess, in the algorithm. It's what I'm told. It's what I think anyways. Knowing Facebook, that's probably how they rock and roll. So like the post, love it. If you're on YouTube, whatever YouTube does as an alternative, I want you to do that. I think they allow you to thumbs up it. Definitely give it a thumbs up. And tell us where you're watching from. So again, we moved this from, I think it was 2:00 in the afternoon down to 10 a.m. specifically to accommodate more time zones. So I want to know where you're watching from. It's important to me. So drop that in the chat now. We've got Atlanta for the win. What's up, Gary? How you doing, buddy? We've got James. I don't know what's going on here. I think you allowed us to see your name, James. So, I see the attempt. I see the attempt here at a joke. Facebook user asked if they're going to beat my 92K day. We'll see. We'll see. They're getting really close. I'm sweating. I'll tell you that. Kriste from Boston, Massachusetts. What's up? We've got, these are just scrolling by really fast. And it looks like Krste is the unfortunate person here that's getting his head chopped off.
You take some of the face of everybody that comes up in the comment.
He's still there. Don't worry, anybody.
Good. I was getting worried.
Martin from the Czech Republic. I'm going to beat that 92K day.
What's that?
You're trying to hide me over here because I'm going to beat that 92K day.
Yep, go away.
Shots have been fired.
If I didn't have spend limits, I probably would have already done it. But, Facebook, capping us 5,000, now 10,000. So
my guess is that you're hitting these numbers already this early in the year. By a little record, probably doesn't stand a chance. You're probably going to double it. You're going to make it look small in comparison, is what I have a feeling. Martin from the Czech Republic. David from St. Louis, what's up? We've got Facebook user from Bangladesh. Welcome. Another Facebook user from the UK. That's what we like to see here. Hi, guys from Europe. Hi, guys. Europe here. Flag belongs to Slovenia. Yeah, for some reason, Facebook, it's like they're having problems with emojis right now. Because we're not seeing it. Los Angeles, it's like a different country, like I say. All right, we got Kriste from France, Dubai, Kenya. I love it, man. This is so cool. Canada, Nevada, Carolina, France, Egypt. That's a cool one. I'm not sure we've ever had Egypt before.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Welcome from Egypt.
Yeah, that's really cool. San Francisco Bay Area, Spain, Switzerland. Mama from the UK. Momo from UK.
Mama.
Welcome.
If you want to see your name, just as a reminder, if you go to streamyard.com/Facebook, then you can just give it permission to show your name so that we can see who you are.
Germany.
You know, Facebook user is really me, right?
What?
I am the Facebook user.
You get around if you're a Facebook user. Ireland. Okay. Wow. We've got lots of representation here from all over the place. Welcome to today's Coffee with Michael. You know how we like to roll around here. We have to start with the digital marketer's toast, or else all is not right with the world. Riots will continue in the weekends. There will be international chaos. Wars will spread. It's just bad. Fires start. Some poor unicorn that's done nothing but eat grass and work out, and his entire life is going to die of a heart attack, right? How unjust would that be? Wow. That is why the digital marketer's toast exists.
It's really
so are you ready? Raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks, and join me now for the digital marketer's toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs, to higher CTRs, much higher CVRs, to enable ad accounts and big bank accounts, upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sells, and to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Are you ready? Let's drink up, everybody. What mug you feature in there today, Zappy?
This is one I've had for a while. It says "Cómo te sientes hoy," and it has a bunch of different faces of different feelings that you can have in Spanish.
Very nice. I like it. You're always bringing you're always bringing different stuff in to the chat. I've got these pretty basic Starbucks mugs that come in every time. This one's from Chicago. Nothing too exciting there. I need to get my ShineOn mug down. But my wife beats me to it all the time because she loves the mug because it's big and it's warm. All right, let's get to it. Okay. Testimonials. Michelle, on Cloud9, my first Etsy sale. When I started the print-on-demand journey a year ago after COVID, impacted work. I was out of work from September 2020, lost my home, my car, my own business was a way forward. Thank you to so many people who have helped me along the way. Thanks so much, Michelle. Super glad that you're seeing some success on Etsy. I hope you can build this into a good 5-6-figure income for yourself, supplemental income even, as you move into the year. So hang with it. Persistence is key. Love to see the success. Thanks for sharing. Somebody from the team will be reaching out and we'll be sharing some swag soon. So stay tuned for that. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. All right, Gary, hit a milestone today. I've been looking forward to for a while. Lots of great ShineOn folks have been part of this, but I have to give a lot of credit to Jim Carmella and his farming method. So far, it's driven at least 75% of my sales. I have one seed running today that has 2 out of 10 targets that show great potential, and I have 3 more sets of 10 that are going out over the next 3 days. Thank you, Jim. $2,000 is the milestone. $2,000. Congratulations, Gary. Love to see it. You're definitely, if you hang in there, you're definitely going to hit 10K, assuming you don't find like a massive winner between now and the end of the year. The sales volume just goes up so much. It's seriously, it's unbelievable as we get deeper into Christmas. So congratulations. Somebody from my team will reach out. You got some swag coming your way. Boom. $1,000 day milestone passed. This one is from Joe. He did $5,000. Let's see, 1K a day milestone passed. Okay, so here it is. He did over $1,000 a day on November 13th. I'd love to know where you're at today, Joe. Congratulations, buddy. $5,157 in total revenue up to the 13th of November. And by the way, just look at this chart here. This is what Q4 is all about. You're going to see like you can just scale. It's so impressive how you can scale. And honestly, it starts to really hockey stick as you get into December. I mean, things start to tick off exponentially, not just linearly. So it's really cool to see this. Congratulations. All right. Omar, woohoo. First sale after 20 days of testing and researching with ShineOn. Got the sale from Facebook ads. Tried 8 CBO campaigns, no sales. Pushed 3 to higher CTR products into the seedlings and got my first sale. Thanks to Jim Carmella for the farming method. And my mate Adam Conroy for the tips. $75. So Jim's farming method, if you want to learn more about it, it's the first time you're ever hearing about it, you need to go into the group and search for Shot of Espresso. Search for Jim Carmella if that doesn't bring it up. Scroll through there. It's a Shot of Espresso that he published recently. You should be able to download the PDF where he walks out the entire strategy. Pretty freaking cool. So go check that out. Lots of people are seeing some success with that. All right, if you want to get some swag, we draw 2 to 5 posts every single week. Drop a testimonial, screenshot of sales, value post, what's working for you, tips, tricks, and hacks, something like that. We'll feature it here, and if we feature it here, you'll get some swag. So pretty cool opportunity. All right, just checking in on the chat. We got a lot of folks watching today. So trying to stay on top of it. Pierre says he missed the Digital Marketers Toast last week, and his Facebook ad account got disabled. That's what I'm saying. That's what happens when you're not. That's what happens when you're not here to participate. Things just go south. The whole world is awry when you're not here for the Digital Marketers Toast. The law of entropy accelerates when we're not here to hold things together. It's like some kind of law of the universe here that we've tapped into. All right, latest news. Coaching. We launched our coaching group. 6 weeks ago, 5-6 weeks ago now, maybe. Krste is really leading the effort there. We're trying to figure out how me, Jim, and Krste, Zappy, can all kind of get in there and help supplement and fill in some gaps and really help Krste with the training. But he's really taking the lead there, so he gets a ton of credit here. If you want to learn more about the coaching, go to coaching.shineon.com. We do have students starting to see success. Everything that Krste and Zappy are going to share with you today, they're sharing in detail in our coaching program. They're giving the strategies. I'm not sure. Are you guys sharing the creatives in the coaching program?
So in the coaching program, we have the user-generated PSD. So that's taking maybe existing ShineOn pictures or finding like photos and then putting message cards in them. So that's what we're using, and they are available in Elite. And I think we'll also be adding the TikTok advertising strategy as early as next week. So I'll be creating that over the weekend. See, I'm going to work over the weekend so we get that in there just in time for Q4. So that should be available early next week for Elite.
Nice. So if you want, look, the coaching program is really the place to be. It's up-to-date information. Zappy and Krste are killing it right now. All those strategies are making it in there. I've just got some chats coming up. Mauricio says the coaching is pure. That looks, what is that? Is that a baby bottle?
Explosions.
Dynamite.
Explosive.
Oh, it's dynamite. It's a stick of dynamite. It's pure dynamite, everybody. That makes a lot more sense. I need color on the emojis. It's like I can't interpret them without it. All right. Michelle says the coaching has been fantastic. 3 sales on Shopify in 2 days and 1 on the platform. So, yeah, digging it. It's awesome. All right, let's keep going here. So these are some screenshots of Zappy and Krste's success throughout the last week. So for the month so far, this was through what, 16th or 17th? So it's taken probably 2 days ago. $396,000 in revenue on the month, $148,000 on the week. You can just look at that. I love seeing, man, that's like really just like a week's worth of scaling, you know, which is just unreal. And then $76,000 in a single day, which is amazing. So yes, my 92K day is probably going to be stomped. I'm sure Krste is going to be in my face, letting me know on the day it happens. I'm probably going to have to take the day off because I'm going to be so depressed. But it is what it is. I actually think Krste will likely double that record this year because we are not even in December yet. In December, it's like stealing candy from a baby. The sales come so easy. So anyways, they're doing great. They're hitting it out of the park. Coming to the coaching group next week, you know, Krste already shared TikTok is coming and the strategies that we're currently using. He's going to cover testing, analysis, and scaling. So again, if you want to get into the coaching group, coaching.shineon.com is where you go and sign up. You get a Slack channel and a bunch of other stuff. You can read about it on the webpage. All right, let's keep going here. 100. Did you have something you were going to add, Krste? It looked like you leaned into the mic there a little bit.
No, I'm all good. Those figures were a few days ago, so we've like already hit over 500,000, like well into 600K on this month.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. I love it. This is the best time of year. I used to hate the holidays, and e-commerce changed everything for me. It like redeemed the holidays. All right, 100, 100, 100 challenge. Far Hot, it had 4,700 sales, which is unbelievable. I think this entire group now is over 15,000 orders. I probably should have checked before I started the call here. Fram at 1,100 orders. 2 at 473 orders. Win at 302 orders. It's really unbelievable how successful this group has been. They have generated over 100,000 unique designs in the group. It was awesome. We've had so much success from it. We're going to run another one for Valentine's Day. So the one for Christmas is kind of closed. However, the idea of 100, 100, 100 was we were going to, it was just a group, an accountability group, really, where people could make 100 designs over 100 days, right? With the hopes of hitting $100,000 in revenue. That was the whole kind of idea behind the challenge. And it's been so successful. We're going to do another one on Valentine's Day. So it's already closed now, but if you want to participate for the one on Valentine's Day, keep your eyes peeled as we get into January, because we're going to be launching the new challenge, and we're going to have the sign up page and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. This week's Shot of Espresso was on TikTok ads. If you haven't seen, you need to go watch it. Zappy has an incredible intro. I think Zappy, you were born for this, honestly. I think you were born for TikTok, really. So
you're right.
Anyway, you need to go watch this. It's really creative. It's funny. It's really cool. It's packed with tons of valuable information. It's like a half an hour long, and I think the document itself is 11 or 12 pages. There is nobody else in our space giving away the kinds of free content that we are to you. It's super valuable. We're putting together guides every single week. They come with video walkthroughs. I mean, we're working our fingers to the bones for you people. It's really incredible. So you want to go check this out and take advantage of it. Take advantage of it because it's unbelievable. Can you imagine, Zappy, if you had been born in like the 1600s or something?
It'd be terrible.
You'd have been like talking into rocks, not even knowing what you were doing and stuff, Yeah. You'd have had this urge to create something that didn't exist. You'd have had a life completely without purpose.
Yeah. We live in a great age, and we have a lot of things that are available to us that were unheard of even just like 20 years ago. So there's so many opportunities that I hope people can see that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. There's never been a better time in the history of the world to be an entrepreneur. That is for sure. Yeah. And I would argue that ShineOn is probably the best entrepreneurial opportunity in the history of the world. And I know it sounds crazy, but I don't think that's an exaggeration. You get to sell products that you don't have to risk your own capital to hold inventory for. We ship them out. You don't even have to touch the product. You get to sell it to people you've never met before. You get distribution channels that are as large as what a Target or a Costco or a Walmart would have access to. And it's like pennies on the dollar. It's seriously unreal. And the other thing that's crazy about it, you can launch the business for like less than $100, and you get to test new products for like $30, $40 at a time. It's mind blowing, the types of opportunity that exist today. So you got to take advantage of it. If you're sitting on the sidelines right now, you need to jump in. Just take action. Imperfect action is going to be better than just sitting there on the fence and just watching this opportunity wash by. You have an incredible, incredible chance here. All right, let's keep going. On-page add-ons. This is live in the platform and the app. You need to go turn this on. It is freaking free money, people. So if you are on the app and you're using our product pages, or you're on the platform, you need to make sure you go to navigate to your product and turn this on. Again, it is nothing but free money. We are actively CROing it right now so that we can increase the conversion rates and the take rates on all of your products. And we're seeing good success. We have already proven in the very first test we ran, this does not impact conversion rates negatively in any way, shape, or form. It only serves to increase AOVs. We've proven that right out of the gate. So if you're hesitant, that should be smashed right there, right? All your concerns should wash away. Our conversion rate testing has already proven it has no negative impact. So you need to go turn this on. There is only upside to this, right? No downside so far based on our data. So we're doing more tests over the coming weeks because we want to now go from kind of this baseline of like, hey, it's got no negative impact, it is only increasing AOV, to increasing those take rates. So if you want to be part of that and you want to be able to take advantage of that, you need to go turn these on. So to do it in the platform, once you've launched a product, navigate to the product. Up at the top, there is a product details page. I've got it right here on the screen. Look at that. And over here on the right, you have buyer upsells. Go turn these on. Green, 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 all the way down. That's how you're going to make some extra money. If you're on the app, you're only going to be able to see these options if you're using the new experience. Now, I know some people have been a little resistant to the new experience. It looks different. And I kind of get that. However, if you want to take advantage of this, you still can. All you have to do, go into the app, jump into the new experience, navigate to the product, turn all these on, green all the way down, then jump back out to the old experience. That's all you have to do, and it'll be on for that product. You want to take advantage of this. All right. Next, we have in-cart add-ons. In-cart add-ons. That's supposed to say in-cart there. We now have package protection in the cart on the app. Right? So if you're an app user and you're using our templates, so our product template or our cart template, you can go turn this on, and it sells for $298, I believe, and we split it with you 50-50. So you're basically going to be able to add $1.49 to most of your orders. We have found that roughly 80% of people take this. 80% of people take this during checkout. So just imagine making $1.50 extra on 80% of the orders that come through the house. So look, if you're scaling right now, you need to be listening, right? You need to seriously consider turning this on. If we could just pop back up here real quick, look at this. In the month right now, on our own stores, we're at 4,190 orders when this screenshot was taken. We were about halfway through the month. If you're scaling and doing any significant amount of volume, turning this on, this would have been roughly what, $5,500 extra in your pocket, something like that. You don't want to sleep on that kind of money. It's free money. So go turn it on. To get to it, you navigate to your product page. You go to upsells, I believe is the name of the tab. And you know what? Oh, I don't have a screenshot of it. We'll get a screenshot of it out there. But anyway, you can navigate to the tab, and I believe it's the upsells tab, and you're going to see it in there listed as an upsell, and you're going to be able to turn it on. Go make sure you turn that on because it's free money. And we all like free money here. Look, Facebook user, FMA. Man, what is going on with these emojis? It's bothering me. I don't like it. But anyway, go turn those on. Tammy says the batch upsell is coming, so you can be able to turn it on for all products. So that's right around the corner. Just go do it, people. If you know what's good for you, you're going to go do it. Next, we have a new upsell. It's a love knot earrings. These are love knot studs. They're right here. They're beautiful. You can go turn these on too. They're in the upsell tab in the product page, and you can net an additional $20 in profit. $20 in profit. Base cost is $9.95, right? Sale price is $29.95. You can get 20 extra bucks profit for everybody that takes these. So go turn it on. I don't know what you're waiting for. You should be doing it right now. There should be an extra tab up, not this tab, silly, an extra tab up, and you should go turn these on right now. Let's go. Okay, if you want to stay caught up on the announcements, in the Facebook group, go click announcements, and anything that we think is important, we mark it as an announcement, and you should be able to scroll through there. It's basically like a news ticker for all of our amazing stuff, right? So go down there and check it out. Man, these announcements they're work in and of themselves every week in Q4. They kind of wear me out. So let's get to the meat of things. So I told everybody, Zappy and Krste have been knocking it out of the park. I'm going to take a break and drink some of my coffee here and hand the mic over to you guys for a minute. So can you talk a little bit about, I saw in the first part of the month, it looked like you guys were testing. You weren't getting tons of traction. Then all of a sudden things started to really spike up. So let's go back to that. What were you testing? What methods were you using? How are you navigating on Facebook and TikTok and that kind of thing? And when did you start to see traction?
Yeah.
Do you want me to lead or you want to go first?
I'll just kick us off and just say, TikTok has been something that's been on our radar for a while, and we finally just got some things going with it, got some creatives made to start the testing process. You know, and I don't want to set unclear expectations, but on the first day we were profitable right away in our testing, which was really encouraging. We were able to get very low CPAs, basically cost per action, cost per purchase, out of the gate. And we were realizing that, again, some of the things that I had already mentioned in the group before, that we were at the early stages of TikTok advertising still. You know, if you think back to Facebook and a lot of people that you've been in this space a lot, even if you're not, it was a lot easier to make bigger profits back when Facebook was more in its infancy. And we're seeing a lot of that kind of a trend right now with TikTok. You know, advertisers are moving toward the platform, but it's still, you know, still fresh, still early. And there's a lot of basically meat to be had there. And so, so with some of our early testing, we're seeing that. And I'll have Krste go ahead and jump off with that too.
Did we mention that we made Jim TikTok famous?
Yeah.
So we've got like 5 million impressions on Jim already. He's featured in one of our ads, so it's fantastic. He's gonna be famous.
His hands are in there. We're actually ShineOn's gonna sponsor a manicure for Jim because we think that might help uplift our conversion rate. We're actually gonna test that. Jim unmanicured versus Jim manicured.
Yeah, I guess I agree with Zappy. Like, this is like the inception stage. Like, we have like at least 5 years of growth. So it's gonna be really interesting. And some days in the past week, TikTok had split Facebook, and one day it actually turned it for a portion of the day, and then Facebook took the lead again. But you know, it can scale. Like, a lot of people are saying, you know, the older audiences aren't on TikTok, but you know, we just proved that that's not the case, because one of the products is a daughter product and the other product is a love niche product. So both of the products, you know, most of the audience is in the older segments. So you know, a lot of objections that people were having, you know, it's younger demographic on there. It's not necessarily true. And it's just like Facebook in its early stages, when the algorithm was super strong and it showed you really relevant content. It's that addictiveness where people, you know, can't get off it. And that's why, you know, the algorithms are smart enough to show you the ad at the particular time where you're happy, and they know, you know, your shopping patterns or your behavior patterns. So it just shows you the ad at the perfect time. So that's really strong. And there was also like in the Coffee with Michael a few weeks back, where Maxwell Finn had his conspiracy theories, and I would agree with him. I'd say that, you know, they have something on edge compared to Facebook and Instagram with their tracking, because it's just like super sharp the way. I'm not just talking about ads. I'm talking about the algorithm in general. Like, it's viral like. So I feel that you know, Mr. Facebook, Mr. Metaverse is Meta or Metaverse, whatever he's working on, has realized that, and he's you know, pivoting to, you know, Meta, you know, creating a different platform, because he knows that this is coming. It's gonna, you know, catch up or potentially exceed Facebook over the next 5 years. So it's a huge opportunity to get on this earlier, because you can become, you know, if you can become experts and you can understand the platform and really hit it with the ground running. So for myself, coming to Facebook only a few years ago, had I caught the initial you know, the run like back in 2013 and 2014, would have been fantastic, but I didn't. So I still had success in the harder times where it is to be successful. So you guys can take advantage of the early phases of TikTok. And, you know, like for me, like looking at the ads manager in TikTok is like, I refresh. Is this real life? I keep refreshing because the CPAs are so low. Like, it's just not possible on Facebook right now to achieve, you know, $15, $20, $25 CPAs. Like, it's just insane with $100 plus order values. It's really crazy opportunity.
So I actually have some questions here. So first of all, to frame it up for some other people real quick. So Krste referenced the interview I did with Max Finn 2 or 3 weeks ago where he really talked about TikTok. And one of the things he said was, TikTok being a company kind of in China, and Apple making all their phones in China, and also China being a massive marketplace. He kind of wondered if there was, hey, Krste, could you mute when I'm talking? Because there's a bit of an echo. Thanks, man. So Max was kind of wondering, does China have some kind of, deal with Apple where they're kind of skirting around iOS 14? Who freaking knows, right? What's going on there? But Max seemed to indicate that the attribution in TikTok was near 100%. And it sounds like you're saying the same thing, Krste, that it looks like it's really close to being 100% accurate. So go ahead.
And the leads which it's sending, it knows the exact people. Like in like we launched tests on the first days, it was literally giving us results straight away. I'm not saying that's going to happen for everyone, but the key thing here is, while we did test on the first day, it was already a qualified product on Facebook. I want to stress that. So I would still test products on Facebook and get some traction and understand that it's a winning product before I go to TikTok, because if you go straight into TikTok, you create so many variables, whether it's the video creative, whether it's the product, whether it's the phrase, like you got so many variations. So I'd still recommend Facebook as a starting point and then transition to TikTok. Sorry, to go ahead.
No, so I was just saying that, so it sounds like a big problem with Facebook this year. And by the way, I mean, I have friends like that owned agencies, and I bet you half of them have shut down their agencies because iOS 14 has been so challenging for a lot of people to figure out how to work around. So it sounds like, the affliction we've all been dealing with Facebook and the lack of attribution and things like that, and does not exist on TikTok. So TikTok has that going for it. But the second thing it has going for it is, unlike Facebook in probably 2014 or 2015, the algorithm is state of the art, right? Because we've had years and years and years now of experience kind of building those and learning what makes a good algorithm and all that kind of stuff. Plus, it's a new platform. So marketers haven't rushed into it and flooded it yet. So it's also super cheap. I mean, I saw some screenshots and you guys CPMs were like $3 a pop, right? And your CPAs, don't let me misstate this here, but they were between like 12 and like $17. And sometimes your AOVs were over $100. Is that right?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, that was what was amazing. And we're, like Krste was saying, we were hitting refresh multiple times, an hour, just being like, is this real? We're really, basically, to frame it, we're selling a product for, like, let's say $15, like ad spend $15, and we're selling a cart value of over $100 because we have the product itself. And then we have upsells. People were picking up upsells on the backside of that as well. But even if we were only selling, the base product at $50 or $60, and paying $15 to make that sale, I mean, that's a huge profit.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at, that's basically four ROAS right there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
some days
awesome.
we were like 5 or 10 ROAS. It was like literally like unbelievable. Like I just could not believe
it. So here's a question I have. So there was a big kind of controversy a year and a half ago, something like that, that if you install TikTok on your phone, that you're basically you were selling your soul to China, right? And they're going to know everything about you, and they were going to, if I remember right, there was something in like maybe the terms of service of TikTok that gave them permission to like even read your text messages and all that kind of stuff. What is the state of that? Because it doesn't seem like it slowed down adoption. So I don't know if I just heard something on CNN that wasn't true or what. Do either of you guys know?
Not
Apparently nobody cares.
I mean, I'm not sure what the latest state of that was, but yeah, that was the big thing at the time, was that TikTok was collecting a lot more information than people were realizing. And then it had to do with where the information was being housed. and wanting it to be not just overseas and servers. So that was kind of the big thing at the time.
I think Mario probably sums up how most people feel about it. So here's the thing anyway. There's a good chance all of our personal data exists on some servers in China and Russia anyway, right? Probably 4 or 5 times over at this point. I've always thought it was weird how, there's only 400 million people in the United States anyways. And yet every single year, it's like Target gets hacked for 180 million accounts. And then Chase gets hacked for like 220 million accounts. And every single year, there's like 10 of those, right? Well, there's only 400 million people. So that just means there's like duplicates of our stuff growing out. So anyways, all that really was to say, I wasn't to freak anybody out. I was just trying to figure out if we had clarity on any of that. Tons of people are using TikTok. It doesn't seem like anybody's social security numbers or anything like that are being stolen yet. So it's probably not that big of a deal.
Right. And on the user side, it's just, people on there watching videos and, sitting and relaxing in the evening, So
I know tons of people that literally use TikTok all the freaking time. So yeah. I don't think it's really that big of a concern anymore. It's also completely fallen out of the news. So who knows if that was ever real to begin with, honestly.
So I'm real quick. I want to state a couple things from the Shot of Espresso I did a few weeks ago. Like, they had a bunch of quick stats in there. You can reference that by searching in the Facebook group too. But I mean, there's over 100 billion people actively using TikTok app every month. 100 million monthly active users in the United States alone. It's been downloaded more than 2 billion times with a B. We talked earlier about the demographic. Yes, it started with preteens and teenagers, just dancing to different music, but it rapidly expanded last year with 2020, people being at home, lockdown, all that sort of thing. People were bored, people had free time. And so there was this, what might have taken 10 years sort of happened in 1 year, in my own opinion. And so you got that older demographic coming in. So there's actually, where was the number? 30 million, last that I had was 30 million users over the age of 35 in the United States can be targeted. So, while the majority of TikTok still skews younger, the over 35 demographic, there's 30 million people that we can target. So that's still a huge number, and that's plenty to make profits and sales for sure.
You know what the timestamp was on that data? Because I bet you it's a lot more now.
I don't know what the timestamp was on that one, but it was still fairly fresh when I posted this like a month or so ago.
I just, for you guys to be having the success that you are, and a lot of those buyers in the older demographic, I've just got to think the numbers are just absolutely massive. All right, so let's get back to some tactics and things like that are going to help people. The only reason I brought up the issue I did was mainly to knock down some objections in case there's fear or any reason that people aren't kind of going towards this platform. I was hoping I could kind of hit the nail on the head there a little bit and dispel everybody's concerns. I think this one will go in the category of it was dropped from the news and basically popular culture, so it was probably a non-issue in the first place. That's where I'm going to kind of file that one away. Okay, so let's get into tactics. So first of all, anybody on the platform that's going to want to use TikTok, we have Google Tag Manager coming to the platform soon. I don't have a date yet. I'm hoping next week. Again, don't hold me to it, but it's coming soon. As soon as Google Tag Manager is available on the platform, boom, TikTok can be ran on the platform. In fact, any platform that you prefer, you're going to be able to use Google Tag Manager to get those pixels or what have yous onto the platform. You're not going to have to worry about it anymore. But let's go back to tactics now. So Krste already, I felt like, dropped a little bit of value a minute ago saying, test on Facebook first, make sure you're getting some traction, specifically because the barrier to entry to TikTok is kind of high because the creatives require a great deal more effort than what's on Facebook. So after you get a product kind of validated on Facebook, though, let's talk real quick. What kind of creatives are you guys testing with that you're seeing traction on?
So go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So, okay, so I'm going to refer back to the Shot of Espresso that was just posted this week. I'm trying to remember what day it was this week, but yeah, it was just on Wednesday, I believe, that it was posted. I went through a baker's dozen, 13 different creative types that you can use for this call. I figured we'd focus just on a few of them, but if you just look at the top, basically like the top 4 that I had on that list, so that's really where I would start. Is I'm all about keeping it simple, especially if you're just testing. So creative side, on number 1 on that shot of espresso is show and tell. So which I don't have a jewelry in front of me, but basically just taking it in your hand, somebody's hand, and showing what it is, talking about it. If it's a message card piece, certainly, you can read through the message card so that they can hear it themselves and see it, get some good close-up shots. TikTok videos work really well on TikTok that are quick cuts. So if you have any sort of video editing experience and can do simple cuts between different things, that can be, even more effective. But starting out, just grab your smartphone, get a copy of the product, but order a few of the products in. A lot of we have a few top sellers. Even if you just started with those, get something in hand. And if you needed to get some cardstock at your local store, whatever, print out the message card that you need. You can either order it directly from ShineOn with the message card that you want, or if you want to iterate and test several different things, just go ahead and get a message card yourself, cardstock, print it out, and then put it in the box for you. And you can just switch it out with the normal jewelry. So like love knot, for example, you just have one love knot in the wooden box, and then you can just switch out with different ones, hold it in front of you, talk about it, how nice the jewelry is, show it, read it, and then have a call to action somewhere in there, or, hit the shop now button below to get yours, that sort of thing. So,
hey, Zappy, will it help if I share your shot of espresso?
Yeah,
on the screen.
If you can share it in the chat here.
Well, I can share it on the screen.
Or on screen.
Yeah. Let me do that. Hang on.
Here, I have a link to the download. Here, I'll that's the direct link to the download if you wanted to use that.
Yeah, I think I got it up. Let me I think I can move this into
that works.
Presentation mode somehow.
While you're getting that ready, can I just add that what I've found from analyzing a lot of TikTok ads is the successful ones commonly in the first 3 seconds have something to really grab attention, whether it's opening the door and seeing the package on the floor and grabbing it. Like that's first 3 seconds, bang, bang, bang. The how to sell like crazy ad, right? The guy's lighting a $100 bill in the first second. So it's like really capturing attention. So whatever you're doing, like you're scrolling through TikTok and you want to watch videos that catch your attention. So that's the same sort of deal. You need to capture that person in the first 3 seconds. So whether it be like drop the box and pick it up, or like throw it against the wall. Oops, I hope I didn't break it. She's not gonna like it broken. Or like just do something completely crazy, because that's what gets attention on TikTok. So that's a crucial part to have successful ads on TikTok.
So I'm curious, that kind of rule holds true for Facebook as well. That typically if you're going to do split testing on video ads on Facebook, you typically try to split test those first 3 seconds before you go change anything else in the video, because it's so crucial. Question: have you taken kind of what's working for you in TikTok and then tested it in Facebook to see if it gets you any results? How does that port over?
We have, at least unless Krste, that you have, I haven't put anything back from that's working in TikTok back into Facebook. We've taken some things that we've used on Facebook and reworked it for TikTok. So you have to sort of think form factor too. So a lot of the videos that you see on Facebook are either square or maybe they're even landscape version. Everything is shot and presented on TikTok in vertical. So when you're filming things, if you're planning to use it in both, you just sort of have to keep that in mind, that it may or may not work depending on how you shoot it. If you shoot it too tight, then you can't really go back as well. But
Yeah, that's a good point. It's all 9:16 over there.
Yeah.
So where do you want me to go here on screen, Zappy?
Like a couple more pages down, it starts the numbering. You just right there, show and tell. That's what I was referencing for anybody that's watching.
This is where you just, you have your product, right? And you get your phone and you're just kind of like looking at the product really close, and you're maybe reading it out loud. Is the audio, is that kind of what this one is?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, nothing fancy at all. You can mix up different backgrounds. Maybe you go outside. For people that don't have good lighting, outside is always a great option, especially natural lighting. Ideally, if it's not just full on sun with a lot of shadow, but just generally speaking, if you can shoot outside, you're going to have really nice lighting and see the product really well. But yeah, just a simple holding it in your hand, doing it that way. Like Krste said too, though, those first few seconds are really important, because if people are sitting there and they're just scrolling through, and if something doesn't catch their attention right away, then they're going on to the next thing. It's very similar, on TikTok. Now, TikTok does it where if they have different ways that they present the ads to people. One way is when you first get on the app, it'll start with an advertisement. And so again, it's presented to them right away, and you want to get their attention. So a quick way to iterate multiple videos, let's say you shoot one video, just like we talked about with the show and tell method. It's sort of your core thing. Say it's 30 seconds long or something. And then you can iterate multiple videos fast by just shooting a couple short intros, like again, 3 to 5 seconds, something interesting, Christmas trees falling over, or, you're like, whoa, just do something visually appealing or interesting or engaging, and do like 3 or 5 different things that are 3 to 5 seconds long, tack that onto the front of the core video. And all of a sudden you have, a handful of videos,
3 to 5 new creatives,
every one of them. Great way to iterate, great way to test. And you might see one that just stands out over the other and gets all the sales, or gets the click-through rate, higher click-through rate. So
I don't think I want to go through all 13 of these.
No, we don't need
here. But is there another? So the show and tell.
I was just saying,
what's another one?
These top few, the show and tell, recipient reaction. That was also I also presented that in the video that accompanied this document. But basically, it could be, let's say you were doing a gift for daughter. Maybe you could have someone sitting at a table or standing holding the product and reacting to it, or reading, have her read the product out loud, and then you can just do a pan around to her and get a close up of it. So in that case, again, it's the recipient talking, reacting to having received the product. Give a reaction, if you wanted to have someone play the role of the father and just say, hey, I got this for my daughter. I'm looking forward to giving it to her. Here's what it is, that sort of thing. And then the multi-person dialogue was what I started the video with for this shot of espresso too, where you see that all over on TikTok. Again, if you have the character, the ability, or people around you that can help you do some of this, doing more character kinds of work like what you see on TikTok can be really effective too. So in the example that I presented, it was just literally just me in the couch, and then me in the chair, and it looked like I was talking to myself as two different characters, talk about the product, show it. So just make it, that's where you get really organic and make it look like a real TikTok video. Make it entertaining, make it interesting. And oh, by the way, you want this product? There's so many different ways, you just have to, that's when you can really get your creative juices flowing and just run with a bunch of different ideas.
So I think I'm actually going to try to show your little intro real quick, but then I want to get to some of the actual ad techniques.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things like that, because I think people are going to get the basic kind of idea on the creatives. And if not, as soon as they're on TikTok and they're looking around for a while, they'll pick that part of it up pretty quick.
Sure.
I don't even use TikTok very well, and I feel like I kind of get it. So, but I do want to show them. I just thought this was freaking awesome anyway. But
one more thing, like while we're on that, you don't need to be on TikTok to see those ads. You can go to the creative insights and it shows the top ads, because it allows you opt in or opt out of allowing TikTok to show you ads on their creative insights. So you can actually just go and have a look at ads without going on TikTok if you're scared of getting addicted to it. So that's another cool insight.
That's a good tip.
You know what? I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. Wait a minute. Here, we're gonna try this real quick, and then let's move on. So
Yeah, I was gonna say that's fine. If we don't, we can jump into ad strategies.
I think I can do it. Share tab audio. All right, you guys are gonna have to tell me if we can hear it. So you can see it. Tell me if you can hear it.
Oh, check out what I got, Kate. Yeah.
Is it stuck?
It froze.
Yeah, okay. I've messed around with this long enough. We're not.
That's
I
your
like that
teaser.
face.
If you want to see it, you have to go to the Facebook group and check it out.
All right, so let's get to tactics now. So we understand some of the creatives. It gets us an idea for how we can get moving. So your first TikTok ad, do they use campaign ad set ad just like Facebook is what I've heard. Which Max actually gave them kind of a lot of praise, saying it was really smart on their part to do it that way. Let's talk about the actual structure. Like, what should the first kind of testing ads look like? What kind of budgets are we talking about? How many creatives do you need to be throwing at this platform? Tell us a little bit about it.
Do you want to take it off, or do you want me to take it off? Zappy?
Sorry, I was reading comments. We just wanted to, yeah. So that's fine. I'll kick it off. So, ad strategies. Hats off to Max Fantoof, who presented on Coffee with Mike a few weeks ago. Sort of gave some great ideas to start out with. So, the strategy starting out was basically just targeting TikTok alone. They have a few partners, but just do TikTok. Create a campaign. Budget is at the ad group level, and test broad or interest. So broad can be, just if you're targeting men, men 35 plus, and then for interest, do that, but then choose some of the interest. Now, TikTok isn't quite as advanced in all the interests that like what Facebook has, but it does give you a lot of different options. There's some categories you can go through, but you can also just do a search and type in some things. And when you're going through the process, it'll recommend doing a certain number of interests, but we're putting them all in the same ad group for now because we don't quite have the mass number of people to target to just get real granular and say, well, I just want to target dads or something, So for the interest testing, we are adding multiple interests into the same ad group. And TikTok recommends taking your cost per action that you want to get. So if we want to say, hey, I can spend up to $40 to get a sale and I can break even, or that's what I want, that's my target. Take that number times 50. And then that's what they recommend starting at for the week. So divide that by 7. Hopefully you're staying with me. CPA $40 times 50, and then divide by 7 gives you a daily budget per ad group.
This is because they want you to get 50 conversions for their algorithm, roughly.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of Facebook's thing too. They want you to kind of aim for 50 conversions in the week so you can exit learning. But okay, so anyway, I'm following you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's basically how you can start. Do one broad group, one interest group, set that budget. And it's not to say you can't start lower than that, but that's just what they're recommending. And I'm just sharing sort of what we did. Krste, what would you add to some of that?
So I'm looking at creating a dirty 30 strategy for TikTok. So I'm still testing, and that'll likely come out for everyone next week. But the scaling strategies and the more in-depth stuff probably going to cover in Elite, like over the shoulder. But just to give you a quick so basically we start off with those testing broad and testing interests, and from there we'll see what's working. We'll find a creative which is working. We'll find an audience which is working, and then we'll horizontally scale that. So we'll create more duplicates. So it's the same deal when we scale Dirty 30s. We start with 2 campaigns with $30 budget. So we go again, duplicating that entire campaign, and we basically double the budget to see, with the best creative, with the best audience, does it continually get purchases? And if it does, we can both scale it horizontally and keep adding campaigns, and we can also scale it vertically, so increasing the budget. So TikTok allows us to increase 30% per day. So I would, and the good thing about it compared to Facebook is you can schedule it. So you can schedule the budget change. I think you can with Facebook, but you need to create rules. You can schedule the budget change simply by clicking like the edit button and say, it says schedule budget change underneath the where you edit the budget, and you can schedule it for the next day. So it will increase at 30% for the next day, so you don't hinder its learning for that day. And it works in the same way as Facebook. So it takes about 50 purchases for the ad group to learn. So I would ideally recommend people to keep pushing and try to get out of that learning as soon as possible as well. So if you're having success on a ad group, I would continually increase that by 30% every day. So that way you get the chance of exiting learning. The other strategy for aggressively scaling, so me and Zappy like totally threw the best practices out of the window. We don't believe in following rules. So I wanted to push the boundaries and see how far I can push it before it starts to throw things back in my face. And I think I achieved that on Tuesday, but it turns out it was just a bad day. So as well as horizontally scaling with auto bid. So when we say a budget and we let it spend the entire budget to achieve the best results for our money, we also scale with cost caps. So cost caps is where you put like a big budget, let's say it's $500 or $1,000, and we say only spend our budget if you can get purchases cheaper than our bid. Our bid may be $20, it may be $30. So it will deliver the ads and it will try to get us those results. Another thing which is better than Facebook, which I've seen, is if it spends 3 times your bid, it will stop the ad group. So like I need to create rules and manage that manually on Facebook, like mentally, like, if it hits, 3 times my target, let's say my target is $30 and it hits $90, I turn that ad set off because it's a stop loss rule. In case it keeps spending the cost cap, it can go into big losses. So that's a really cool thing. So you don't need to manually watch them. So if worst case scenario, you lose 3 times your CPA, which is okay, but the risk to reward is massive compared to the money which you're prepared to lose. So I would only recommend scaling aggressively into those cost caps after you've successfully horizontally scaled at least 4 ad groups. So you start with 1 campaign, broad and interest, so 2 ad groups. Then you keep duplicating that. Once you get to at least 6, then pull it out and put it into something big budget. And the best method that I've found is to have 2 cost caps. One with accelerated bids, so it's another option where it'll spend the money as fast as possible to give you the results for that bid. So say, for example, you put $25, it'll spend the entire budget by 11 a.m. if it can give you the results at that budget. So we put that in and that'll spend by morning, and then I'll turn the second cost cap on with a higher bid and a bigger budget for the rest of the evening. So it gets this huge peak in the morning, and then it has a steady flow. And the good thing about that is when you stack that on top of Facebook kind of falls off in the evening. So it balances your revenue for the day, and it really gives you a good balance of the way that your revenue flows during the day.
So something that's interesting to me, just hearing you talk about it, is like all the vocabulary is basically the same, right? I mean,
Yep.
like it doesn't sound like you're saying like, hey, in TikTok land, this actually means this. I mean, you're using literally the exact same terminology you use on Facebook. And it sounds like it ports over one to one for the most part.
Yeah. TikTok
So
is
is
really
there like outside of the creative, right? Is there really kind of a learning curve here for people? Like if you're a Facebook marketer now and you want to start dabbling in TikTok, is the learning curve mostly just around creatives?
I would say yes. That probably is the majority of it at this point. TikTok was really smart in how they basically replicated the Facebook layout. It's still that tab view, campaign, ad group, and ads. Not quite as efficient as Facebook's, but for the most part, it's the same vocabulary and it is just as easy to use. And what we're seeing a lot now too with TikTok is we do have strategies, of course, that we're using, but a lot of it is just set it up and let the algorithm work too. So for people that are more hands off, it's really just about, if you have a product that sells, getting it in there, setting up a few ad groups, and sort of just letting it run and make sure that it's profitable. So
And so you're recommending, I did some math on your numbers earlier. You're saying you take your kind of your break even cost, right? Which is like, I think you said $40,
yeah,
right? So that's kind of your target CPM. I mean, if you're hitting $40, you're kind of let it ride. But if you get much north of $40, you're going to start turning off because you're losing money with every sale, right? And then you said TikTok wants you to get 50 conversions a week, right? So you have to take the $40 times 50, and that's your weekly budget. And so for when I did the rough math on that, it comes out to $2,000 for the week. Then you divide that by 7 because you're running ads 7 days a week. That puts you at roughly $285 a day. Now, my question would be, do you know fairly quick if you're onto something or it's a total dud? Like, I assume that if you're not getting traction, you're not going to let it run and spend the full $2,000. But I mean, what is kind of a good amount to spend to know if you've gotten in front of enough people to know if you're onto something or not?
I guess, Krste, I'll let you answer that one first.
Sorry, can you just repeat the last bit again? You want to know if
Yeah, I
people
just
are...
with Facebook for I would say even now, you can go to 2 to maybe 4 times your break-even cost per purchase and kind of know if you're onto something, right? So you're not breaking the bank just to test. What does it look like on TikTok?
Yeah, so I would let it go like 3, because you need to give it a bit of bandwidth, especially if you're like on a new account with a new pixel. You need to give it at least a chance, right? So like you're prepared to lose like so $90 is my test for Facebook. I would probably go like to something like 120, 135 ish for TikTok, just because it's a newer platform, right? So, but you've already spent money and you've tested on Facebook. You've already got a pre-qualified product, so that's why you need to give it a bit more bandwidth, because you know that the product sells, and it also gives you. The other thing is, when you're testing on TikTok, you're testing more creatives, and you need to give them a bit more bandwidth and a bit more budget, because it's going to split between those creatives to give you that information. So you kind of need a little bit more bandwidth and room to move before making a decision on TikTok. That's my opinion anyway.
And so I think the next question I would ask is how much, I was showing those revenue numbers earlier, and I would say they were pretty impressive. And by the way, everybody listening, we're about to go to a Q&A. So if you have questions, start loading them up in the chat now. I'm going to jump over to that in just a minute. So back to the screenshots we were sharing earlier. They were pretty impressive. What's kind of your blend here between what's coming in from TikTok versus what is Facebook still? Your $76,000 a day. Let's use that as an example. How much of that was kind of boosted by TikTok versus Facebook?
Let me check. I think that was Tuesday. So Tuesday was approximately 30,000, so less than 50%. But yesterday, which was 68,000, was less than, so it's probably around 25%. So it's coming down a little bit, and that could be like creative fatigue and that sort of stuff. So we have to appreciate that the audiences are smaller. So I was pushing really aggressively to see where the boundaries are. So now comes the diagnostics. Is it creative? Is it audience? So I need to see why it's having a downward curve in terms of revenue. So I think I pushed it too hard. I broke all the rules. So now comes the diagnostics, and I can then, share the insight of, if you do scale this aggressively, you have to prepare a lot of creatives in advance to cycle them in and out every couple of weeks or every week, depending on how quickly you push it. So now comes the diagnostics of what I did. So I pushed it, and now comes the analysis and figuring out like how to fix it, and then obviously push it again. So
so you said the less than on the $76,000 day, just kind of a small case study here. 30% came from TikTok, but where did most of your profit come from on that day? Was it TikTok or Facebook?
It would have been TikTok, because the ROAS was 5 on that day on TikTok.
Yeah, so even though it represents a smaller chunk of the revenue, overall it represents more of the profit.
Correct.
Yeah, that's so really fire both these guns, right? So if you're scaling in Q4, you're still going to want Facebook and TikTok. Now I'm going to throw one curveball at you, and then I'm going to start going to questions here in the chat. Have you taken what's working in TikTok and tried it on Snapchat yet?
Not yet. No.
I'm curious
to
know if they just poured over, because if they do, that'd be awesome. You'd have a triple hitter.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a product that's selling on TikTok with a specific video that has a good conversion rate, then I don't see why it wouldn't be easily ported over for sure.
And the demographics on Snapchat, it sounds like they skew very similar to what TikTok does anyway. Last I checked, it was like 60 million people above 30, I think, were on Snapchat. It was something like that in the targetable audiences. So
something else probably worth testing too is if you wanted to take a winner from TikTok and use it as an Instagram ad as well. I think that could be enough.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, cool. So tons, man. I just love it because there's just tons of opportunity here.
One more thing I'll add is like we were talking about profit before. So for me last year, I was even prepared to break even on days where I'd do 76 or 100,000, 76K or like, that sort of range in a day, because the email flows and the SMS, like the next day I'd probably just get 5,000, and then that would push my profit for the next day, over 15, 20,000. So like even breaking even at like scale is fantastic, but we're fortunate enough to be profiting between 15 and 25%, and sometimes 10%, sometimes 7%, but it fluctuates. But like the average is around 15 to 20%, which is crazy at scale. Like especially at that volume, it's literally insane. And then you've got the email flows and the SMS coming in as well. Like $5,000 here and a couple of $1,000 there. It's crazy.
Yeah, and don't forget too, everybody you acquire now, you get to hit again on Valentine's Day, and then you get to hit them again on Mother's Day, and then you get to hit them again next Q4, and so on and so forth. So these are customers you acquire essentially for life. And if you can squeeze even one additional sale out of 25% of the audience, you're looking at, you're sitting pretty. So yeah,
you can build a list for free like that, especially at scale. That's people you can target for anything as long as they're in your email flows.
Yeah, which is, seriously, it's unbelievable. All right, let's get into some of these questions over here. Again, if you guys have questions, start dropping them in the chat now. I'm about 60 seconds behind, I think, on the chat. So drop them in the chat now, and I'll get to them as quickly as I can here. I'm going to kind of scroll up because I don't know quite where the questions started. Brian asked if there was a 2K budget for testing. That is how the math worked out on TikTok. So $40 is kind of your target break even cost per purchase. You take that times 50, it puts you at $2,000. You divide it by 7 because you're going to run ads every day. That puts you at roughly $285 a day. And Krste said he wouldn't let it run past 3 times his break-even cost per purchase, probably before he turns it off. So that means you take your 40 times 3, puts you at $120. He's saying in one test, if you spend $120 on TikTok, you're not getting traction, maybe turn it off. So you're not even going to let it run to the full $285 budget. All right, so I think I got that one out of the way. Kyle asked, will there be an affiliate program for ShineOn? There is one. We're working on it. That one might even launch next week. We have kind of a special affiliate program coming for everybody. So stay tuned for that. All right, where are my questions? Fox says, you guys are awesome. This stuff is intimidating as fudge, is what I think that acronym stands for. Here's the thing, though. It's intimidating if you've never done it, right? As soon as you get out there and you start spending some money and you get some sales and you see how the math works, the intimidation factor really does shrink in a big way. It won't come back again until you actually start to scale on some products. Because once your spend per day gets into the thousands or tens of thousands of dollars mark, that's when, you start to get nervous again. But really, like, once you get in there, you start playing with this, the intimidation factor really goes away. So my encouragement to you would be, get out there and try some of this stuff, right? Put it into practice, take some action, and you'll get familiar with it pretty quick. All right, what would you say? Here's one from Gary. What would you say the minimum budget you should have available to start TikTok is?
I think you have to have at least $20 minimum for an ad group. So that does exist. I'm always one to say, start somewhere, do something, even if you can only do the minimum. Get something in there, get the practice, do the thing, and just go from there.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You're going to learn a heck of a lot faster by trying, right, than anything else. Signature Gift asks, do you use simple ads or Spark ads? I've heard of Spark ads, but I don't recall what it does.
So basically, there are 2 main ways that you can run the ad. I cover this in the shot of espresso that we shared earlier too. But basically, the way we're running it right now is that we're just creating. Okay, so in Facebook, you have to have a page that you are referencing when you're running the ads. It's connected to a page, and then if they click to it, they can see your Facebook page. And it can be a dark post where they can see it, or where they can't see it unless it's in the ad, or you could just set it public. So in TikTok, you don't even have to have a page. You can basically just identify what you want it to be. So if I wanted to just call it Michael's General Store, I can just do that right in the ad creation. And it's sort of pretending like this is a page of itself or a TikTok account. But that does need to match wherever you're sending them. So it has to still be connected to the website somehow. But you can basically set about any name that you need to there without actually creating a TikTok account. Now, the Spark ads are basically the opposite. It's actually having a TikTok account. It's either your business name or just a personal one of yours, or if you're using an influencer, you can use their video. So let's say whomever it is, if it's an influencer or your own business account with TikTok, create the video there. And then when you're in the TikTok ads manager, you would actually reference that TikTok video and use that as your ad. So then it actually is linked to an actual account. And if they click through, they would see the business and all the other videos that you've posted. And so it's a little bit more organic to go that route. And that's definitely where we want to end up is doing that as well. But that opens it up so that you can run ads directly to an influencer if they do it, and they can continue to get organic reach that way as well. So there's a lot of benefits in there that can help in that way. But to start out, it's a lot easier just to go ahead and go in and just create it right within the ads manager and start testing that way. And that's more than enough to be profitable with TikTok ads without feeling like you have to, I have to create, a bunch of content on a business TikTok account now before I get started. No, you don't have to do that. So that's what I would recommend.
Cool. I think this next one will be good for Krste. What's the fastest, best way to get out of learning ad phase, and does it really affect your targeting? They don't specify whether this is for Facebook or TikTok. I'd imagine it's Facebook, given the they're calling it learning. But Krste, what do you think?
So it's literally about so first of all, on Facebook, it's really hard to exit learning in current situation, but I think that Facebook learning doesn't really make a significant difference right now. I think TikTok potentially could make a significant difference because I saw the ad group, perform better after achieving 50 purchases, and also respond better to increasing budgets after the learning phase. So I would recommend just only doing 30% increases, so you get to that 50 purchases quicker on TikTok, because the performance does improve. Facebook is hit and miss. Sometimes they do improve, sometimes they stay the same, sometimes they get worse after exiting learning. So when it exits learning on Facebook, potentially it starts bidding again. Like, it knows that your CPAs are here and it's going to bid at this price, whereas if it's in learning, it doesn't quite know, so it'll fluctuate up and down. So you may have to buy more expensive traffic when you exit learning. That's why sometimes it can go down, but sometimes it can also go up. So Facebook, I wouldn't, it's hard to say. On TikTok, I can definitely say that it improves after exiting learning.
Cool. Thank you for that. Here's one from Werner. I think I'm going to pitch this one over to Zappy. I think you just answered it anyway. Do you need an active TikTok account to run ads?
No.
You got to give me time to tee up the next question, dude.
Okay. No, and you can just run it like I mentioned earlier. But yeah, no. So like I said, you can just set it up in Ads Manager. You do not have to have a TikTok ad account. Ultimately, I think everyone probably should have one, at least for their business, and they can start building up some of that organic reach and maybe even making sales that way. Link in bio kinds of stuff.
All right, so I think I've got my next question here. So I'm going to throw this one at Krste. I haven't even been able to get through the whole thing quite yet. I had a hard time scaling the product as Facebook gave me a steady number of orders in some first days, and the next days I tried to increase my campaign. It didn't make any profit, and the campaign performance started going bad. What is the safest way to scale?
There is no safe way to scale. Unfortunately, everything in life carries a certain risk. And I would say that, days fluctuate. So we're talking about, today for us, there's a 20% decrease in the morning. So it's starting to pick up now, but I don't know whether it's gonna flip or not. So you don't know. This is why you create rules and risk management. That's the most important thing. So if you're not prepared to risk, you shouldn't be scaling anyway. So, but to answer the question, I don't have a proven method to scale right now. I test absolutely every way to scale a product at the moment, and unfortunately, it sometimes tips the scales further into the red before I figure out what is working. And this is why I don't release a course and have the strategies and off you go. This is why we do the coaching, because here's the strategies, test them, and then give us feedback, and then I can get the information and then I can help you out. So this isn't working, I think that this will probably work better. So it's more of a guidance rather than just go off and do it sort of thing. And that's the crucial part. That's the difference between doing a course. So at the moment, I'm literally doing all of my strategies stacked together and cutting things that aren't working for a particular day. So I have all my risk management, all my rules. So say, for example, I'll let an ad set spend 2 times my CPA before I turn it off for the day, or 3 times my CPA, depending on whether it's manual bidding or whether it's auto bidding, I have different rules in place. So everything is controlled. So, worst case scenario, if it's the worst day in the world or some catastrophic event happens, I only lose a small amount of money compared to the overall budget. So it's more about setting your rules and having your risk management in place and stacking as many different strategies together to figure out what's going to work. So just trying one scaling method, I think, isn't really cutting the surface. So you can try your lookalikes, you can try horizontal scaling, vertical scaling. If you're doing vertical scaling, don't do more than 20% increase in budgets, and so on and so forth. So there's so many different ways to scale. I would try as many of those as possible and see what works, because if you've qualified a product and it's gotten you consistent sales, like if you've tried the Dirty 30 method and it's given you 2 to 3 sales in the first day and a half, then there's a good chance that product has momentum. And then it's being hindered by the algorithms changing in the day. So that's where you need to really stack all of the methods and see what works.
Yeah. So basically, it sounds like you're saying, you need to be ready to accept a little bit of risk if you're scaling. Test a bunch of different strategies. The coaching is the place you want to go if you want kind of the done for you hack. And done for you is the wrong word, but if you want like what's currently working right now, coaching is probably the place to go. All right, next question. I'm going to throw this one over to Zappy here. I think I can get the first one. Do we need a new domain verified by ShineOn and TikTok? Does TikTok verify domains?
I guess I'm not sure. We just started sending them to our store and didn't have any problem. I don't recall having to verify anything in particular. They're
on the platform. Sorry, Zappy. So on the platform, you're probably not going to be able to use the TikTok pixel. I'm assuming they call it a pixel on the platform right now, because unfortunately, it just doesn't have the capability yet. When we get Google Tag Manager, which is literally just around the corner, you'll be able to use any pixel you want, including TikTok. So it's just around the corner. So TikTok will be available for the platform very soon, hopefully next week. We don't have a timeline on it quite yet, but hopefully next week is kind of what we're aiming for. So I think that kind of takes care of question number 1 there. Question number 2, can we target multiple family niches with one TikTok pixel? So I think really the question is, can you target multiple niches with a single pixel on TikTok? Is that advised, or do you need 1 pixel per niche?
Do you want me to take that one?
Yeah, go ahead, Krste.
So at the moment, what I'm finding is if the demographic is the same, so if you're targeting a mother and they're also a wife, so you can target husband and like daughter on that same pixel. I still wouldn't do like cross demographics, so like I wouldn't do male and female on the same pixel. So if you are going to do multiple pixels, you need to not use the TikTok sales channel. You need to use the pixel code which it gives you, and you need to add that to the checkout page, and also in the Google Analytics extra code section. So you can put multiple pixels in that way, and you can select which products to fire for in the TikTok. So you can select, add to cart for this product, so on and so forth, and that'll only fire for the specific products.
Cool. Thanks for that. All right. I think we're going to do like maybe 2 more, and then we're going to wrap this up. So Facebook user asked, can we rewatch this live later? Absolutely. It's going to be in the Facebook group. You can rewatch it. We got pretty freaking deep here on the methods, right? We got pretty deep here on the scaling, the testing, the budgets, things like that. Hey, Krste, can you mute again, buddy? Thanks, dude. So if you need to go rewatch it, I totally get it. All you got to do this, as soon as this live is over, it's going to be a permanent post in the Facebook group. It's also going to find its way into YouTube. If you like to listen to it on double speed or whatever, you can go back and revisit all the pieces that you need to. You can take notes, that kind of thing. It's no big deal at all. Trying to find the next kind of best question that we haven't really covered so far. But most of these, it looks like we've kind of covered. So bear with me here. I'm just kind of crawling through these. Is TikTok affected by iOS 14? I think theoretically the answer is yes. However, all the attribution is darn near 100%. We don't know what that's about, but it is kind of the place to be. All the afflictions on Facebook are not really there on TikTok. So it seems like TikTok attribution is working pretty freaking well, and the algorithm is optimizing based on the data as well. So that's pretty cool. Here, I think, maybe we'll answer this one. Yeah, I think, I was kind of hoping for a better question. We're going to go for this one, and then I think we're going to move to wrap up. So how long did it take to reach 80 sales? So as soon as you guys started experimenting with the platform, how much money did you spend before you started to see some results?
Well, we saw results in the first day, as it turned out, which was really encouraging. I don't know, to 80 sales, probably by day 2, we were probably hitting 80 sales already.
But you had something you had already tested on Facebook. It was already proven, and then you ported it over. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we spent 357 and achieved a 17 CPA with 21 sales on the first day.
That is so awesome. That reminds me of like early 2018, man, when you could get like $10 CPAs all day long. It was unreal. All right, we're going to move to wrap this thing up. I'm going to share my screen one last time here. If you're watching on YouTube, right, head on over to ShineOn.com, make an account. You can start selling with us today. It takes like 60 seconds. We have the platform. With the platform, you don't need your own Shopify store. You don't need your own app setup. You don't even need your own brand. We literally take care of all of it for you. It takes 60 seconds to sign up, and it's basically free. You only pay us when you get a sale. Go check that out. It's super easy to get going. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you join the Facebook group. It's the most engaged e-commerce group on the planet. You can find it if you go to bit.ly /go ShineOn, bit.ly /go ShineOn to get into the Facebook group. If you're on Facebook and you're not on the YouTube channel, shame on you. You need to go sign up for the YouTube channel and subscribe. You can find it at youtube.com /C /ShineOnPod. ShineOnPod is the YouTube channel. Go jump on that right now. And then if you're not following us on Facebook or YouTube, or good grief, if you're not following us on Instagram, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You can find us on Instagram, instagram.com /ShineOn, instagram.com /ShineOn. All right, everybody. Appreciate you joining us this week, and hope you have a wonderful weekend. Happy selling.
Everybody out today.
See you next time. Take care, everybody.